Well, if you're one of those people waiting to see if Indiana is going to legalize marijuana, I have a clue. It ain't going to happen in this session. That's right. This session of the Indiana legislature is not, I repeat, not going to produce legislation that legalizes marijuana in any way, shape, or form. As a matter of fact, it's going to tighten the laws and make it in some ways even more restrictive. Here's the situation. There are people who want to see marijuana legalized because other states around us, it's like Michigan, Ohio, Illinois, even Kentucky, are changing their laws, rules, and regulations. Some states allow it for medical purposes. Some states allow it for recreational purposes. But overall, the United States government still considers it a violation of the law. Now, the president is moving it from a class 1 specification into a class 3. What does that mean? Well, that means now more research can be done on it to use THC, the active ingredient in marijuana, for other purposes, namely healthy things. Think about it, people suffering from certain diseases, or in particular, people undergoing chemotherapy. And a lot of times, and I've seen it myself, people suffering in chemotherapy who refuse to eat, frankly, don't do too well with chemo. And I understand that. But for them, medical marijuana seems to help bring back their appetite a little bit. All right, I understand that. And there's people fighting for that. But in the short session that we're in right now with the Indiana legislature, it's not going to happen. Representatives are limited as to the number of bills they can introduce. Representative Keith Van Anter down in Kokomo, Republican, he says, we just can't do anything right now because we just don't have the time and the short period the session runs. Now, a gentleman by the name of Jeff Staker. Jeff Staker used to be a firefighter over in the Grissom Air Force Base days. He wants to see medical marijuana being utilized because, like many people, he suffered a back injury and he's been given Oxycontin. Oxycontin is, it's a narcotic. And he doesn't want to take that. He says medical marijuana will probably help. At least it's helped a lot of other folks. And one can understand that. But overall, it's still illegal in the United States of America. Yes, like I said, going from a class 1 to a class 3, but legalizing it is violating federal law. And the representatives and the senators down in Indiana, down at the State House, don't want to change that law. And I don't see it happening soon. Now, is there a chance they could legalize medical marijuana? It's a chance. There's a chance for anything, really, but it won't happen in this session. So the biggest thing they're doing is restricting advertising. That's the big deal. They want to outlaw advertising in the state of Indiana from these stores up in Michigan and places like that. We're putting up all the billboards in northern Indiana. And they're not just in northern Indiana. They're right here in northeastern Indiana. I've seen them myself. But should they be advertising? Well, they say it's their right. They have a right to advertise, but the state is outlawing it. So what they do, the billboards were sold as long-term contracts that exceeding the limit. Well, now they're trying to limit that again and make it outlawed permanently, I guess. And the other thing is, no advertising for any of these products near 1,000 feet, within 1,000 feet of a school. Okay, understand that too. But trying to outlaw all products that contain Delta 8, which is the active ingredient in marijuana and tetrahydrocannabinol, better known as THC. Because it isn't just in marijuana weed, it's in gummies, it's in food, it's in vapes, it's in all sorts of stuff. And they're trying to outlaw that in the state of Indiana. If the people down there, that's what they want to do, and the public decides to go with it, that's the call. But will things change in the state of Indiana in the next year or so? Only time will tell, folks. But right now, it will not be legalized. Medical marijuana will not be legalized. And they're trying to shut off advertising in the state of Indiana involving marijuana shops, saying, hey, come on up to Michigan and buy your stash up there. That's what's going on down in Indianapolis. And now you know.